Imagine being buried alive. Why, ancient cultures thought that was justice. For centuries, rituals shaped life and death. But some were so terrifying, they still haunt us today. These are the 7 most terrifying rituals of lost civilizations. Civilizations rise and fall, leaving behind ruins, artifacts, and myths. But hidden in their stories are rituals so dark, so unimaginable, that they reveal the fear, belief, and cruelty of the human spirit. From blood-soaked altars to burial pits filled with the living, these practices weren't just acts of horror. They were the very foundations of culture, religion, and power. Tonight, we journey into shadows of forgotten worlds. Brace yourself, because once you hear these rituals, you'll never look at history the same way again. Human sacrifice of the Aztecs. The Aztec Empire was one of the most advanced civilizations in Mesoamerica, builders of great temples, masters of astronomy, and warriors feared across the land. But their devotion to the gods demanded a terrible price: blood. Atop the towering Templo Mayor in Tenochtitlan, victims, often captured warriors, were laid across a stone altar. A priest, wielding an obsidian blade sharper than steel, would plunge it into their chest and rip out the still-beating heart, raising it to the sky as an offering to Huitzilopochtli, the god of the sun and war. Why? The Aztecs believed the sun needed human blood to rise each day. Without it, the world would fall into eternal darkness. Eyewitness accounts from Spanish conquistadors describe rivers of blood running down temple steps, with thousands sacrificed during major festivals. It wasn't murder, it was cosmic duty. But imagine standing there, hearing the drums, the screams, the roar of the crowd as life after life was torn away. Sati, widow burning in ancient India. In some part of ancient India, widows face a fate more horrifying than grief. The ritual of sati forced a woman to throw herself, or be thrown, onto her husband's funeral pyre, burning alive as proof of devotion. It was believed that by dying alongside her husband, she ensured both their souls would reunite in the afterlife. Refusing meant disgrace, dishonor, and sometimes violence from her own community. British colonial records describe the haunting cries of women consumed by fire while villagers watched in reverence. The smoke carried not just her life, but the weight of a tradition rooted in control and fear. Though outlawed in the 19th century, sati remains a chilling reminder of how ritual can strip away humanity in the name of honor. Viking blood eagle. The Vikings were fierce warriors who believed glory in death ensure a place in Valhalla. But their execution ritual, the blood eagle, was something born of both terror and devotion. A captured enemy was laid face down. Their ribs were hacked open from back, lungs pulled out and spread across the shoulders to resemble wings. Legend says this ritual was offered to Odin as a blood sacrifice, a brutal message carved in flesh. Historians debate if it truly happened or was exaggerated in sagas, but even the idea of it shows the extremes of Viking ritual. Imagine the silence of the crowd, the smell of blood in the cold air, and the victim's final breath misting in the wind. The Scythian burials. Slaves buried alive. The Scythians, nomadic warriors of the Eurasian steppe, believed their leaders should not travel to the afterlife alone. When a great chieftain died, dozens of servants, slaves, and even horses were buried alive with him, strangled, stabbed, or simply entombed to suffocate beneath the earth. Archaeologists have uncovered burial mounds filled with human remains arranged around their master, preserved as eternal companions in death. To us, it's cruelty beyond measure. To them, it was loyalty demanded by tradition. The Mayan ball game, death as entertainment. The Maya were brilliant astronomers and architects, but their rituals turned sport into sacrifice. The Pok-Top-Pok ball game wasn't just play, it was sacred. Teams battled to keep a heavy rubber ball in motion, striking it with hips, knees, and elbows. But for some, losing meant death. Captains of defeated teams were sacrificed to the gods, their blood spilled as repayment for cosmic balance. The roar of the crowd wasn't just for victory. It was for death, offered to keep the universe in harmony. Imagine playing a game knowing that every move might be your last. The Inca Capacocha, child sacrifice in the mountains. The Inca Empire stretched across the Andes, and with it came one of the most haunting rituals, Capacocha. Children, seen as pure and untainted, were chosen as offerings to the gods. After days of lavish ceremonies, they were taken to mountaintops, given intoxicating drinks, and left to freeze to death among the clouds. When archaeologists uncovered their preserved bodies, faces still serene, it revealed the terrifying beauty of belief. Sacrificed not by blade, but by cold silence. For the Inca, these children became eternal messengers between the earth and the gods. For us, it's a chilling echo of innocence stolen for faith. Chinese burials of the Shang dynasty. Human accompaniment. In ancient China's Shang dynasty, kings were buried with not just treasures, but with people. Wives, servants, and guard were slaughtered to accompany their ruler into the afterlife. Entire pits of human skeletons have been found around royal tombs, silent witnesses to a belief that power continued beyond death. It wasn't just honor, it was obligation. To serve in life was to serve in death. Across civilizations, rituals gave meaning to life and death. They bound communities, shaped faith, and built empires. But they also demanded sacrifice of freedom, of humanity, of life itself. To us, these rituals are terrifying, barbaric, unthinkable. Yet to those who performed them, they were sacred, necessary, even beautiful. Maybe that's the greatest mystery. How far humans will go to find order in chaos, even if it means spilling blood. Which of these rituals shocked you the most? Do you think they were acts of faith or acts of fear? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more chilling stories from the dark corners of history, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell icon, because the past is far darker than you ever imagined.